Yo, what's good, boys? Boys and girls, how y'all doing? It's time to boot up another draft league season. Your boy is taking participation in a new draft league since we just hit the end of our CTHBL season. Your boy's taking participation in a draft league called Bun Bun Season 2. And I got a pretty crazy draft analysis, which we're just gonna jump right into. I already played in this draft league in the first season. I uploaded one video, but I ended up taking it down because I didn't like it. It was when my microphone was still cooked as fuck. But we're booting up a new draft league right now, and my team, it's a different team than what I liked. I kind of went into this draft just wanting to pick some Pokemon that I've been meaning to pick in this kind of mid to low tier format for a while now. It's a mid to low tier format, like I said, so none of the OP bullshit, no gouging, no Valiant. No, we ain't dealing with none of this, bro. We're staying on the low tiers. Although it's not really a low tier draft, because honestly some of the mods that you can get in this draft are fucking crazy. And yeah, we're just gonna start off right away, man. So for my number one pick, I had 105 points to spend on at least 9 Pokemon, and I wanted to scoop up a Pokemon that I've been meaning to pick up. So for my round 1 pick and my Terra captain, I had to go scoop up my boy Hisuian Arcanine. This mon looks crazy to use with Terra. I didn't think anyone was gonna pick it because I needed something that I didn't think was gonna get sniped. Like, I wasn't gonna get something like Hisuian Samurott, which was my number 1 pick, which is what I wanted more than anything, or like Ursaluna. Were just two of like the best mons in this draft, because I was pick number 11 out of 16. I was in the dead middle, absolutely cooked position in the draft. So I picked up Arcanine. I'm a big believer in priority after doing a few draft leagues, and I mean Terra Normal, you just pop Terra Normal on this thing, bro. You put extreme speed on and like you have a win con, you know what I mean? But this mon can do a lot of different things. It's super offensive. Obviously you got Rockhead Flare Blitzes, you got Rockhead Head Smashes, right? You have a lot of really solid moves, even like Double Edge. You know, if I go Terra Normal Double Edge with Rockhead, you know, you slap like Choice Bands on this set, you can slap Choice Scarves on it, and it can be a really strong wall breaker. It can be with Terra Normal, it can be a super strong endgame cleaner, and I can Terra this into anything I want. Because that's how this league works. You can Terra into any type you want for your Terra captain. So I can be normal, I can be fighting, I can be fire. But yeah, I'm really excited to use this mon, man. This looks really fun to build around with Terra. It was kind of like my number 1 choice for Terra if I got a bad position in the draft. So I'm really happy I picked it up, because it looks really fun. Alright, my next pick is Big Ogie Pun. My girl Ogie. I am this Pokemon's biggest fan. I have been wanting to draft this Pokemon in every single league I'm in, and I just couldn't find a way to fit it in my team. Bro, I had to scoop up. Okay, base Ogerpon, had to scoop it up. Had to scoop it up. I think all of the Ogerpons were available except for the water one, because obviously that water one is broken and it should get banned from OU. But I really like this one. I didn't pick up fire or rock because I wanted to get my item. I think having items in draft is super important. But yeah, Ogerpon, man, probably my favorite Gen 9 Pokemon. I love this girl so much. She is so fire. One of the best designed Pokemon. You know, 100 power grass moves. It's super fast. I like having fast encores. It's something that I've also grown to enjoy having on my drafts. But this thing, it gets like knockoffs, you know, it gets spike support, it can U-turn around and pivot. It can be another really nice breaker win con with Swords Dance Trailblazes, or, you know, sets like that. And just overall, it's very versatile. That's kind of what I was going for in this draft. I wanted some Pokemon that I was going to pick up, you know, been intending to pick up for a long time, but also Pokemon that can work well together, but also work well on their own, can win games on their own, you know what I mean? Or perform a multitude of roles on their own. And I think I definitely did that. My round 3 pick, I went and grabbed up Big Blicko Blastoisington. This is another mon, like I just was talking about, that can win on its own, man. Not only is it, you know, solid bulky water, which I think, you know, I kind of round out like a nice fire water grass combination here, but also like, bro, Shell Smash on Blastoise and you're looking pretty good, you know what I mean? If you can get it in the right angle, you can get a Shell Smash up, bro. This mon is looking pretty crazy. It's one of those mons that is a huge win con in just certain games where you're like, yeah, Shell Smash is just cooked. If I bring it in right and I get a Shell Smash off, I can just actually win the game. And I can definitely do that with this Pokemon. So I'm super ready to use it. Obviously it gets stuff like Rapid Spin. It's another priority mon with Aqua Jets. You know, it gets like EQs. And I can make it bulky with, you know, Rapid Spins. I can make it Scald. You know what I mean? Get some Scald burns off on whatever it's gonna check. A lot of very nice versatility with this Pokemon. Yeah, it's looking pretty crazy. Funny enough, like there was I believe at this point in the draft I could have picked up a Mega Blastoise, but like I said, I really like having the items on my mons. I think it's actually a huge deal. And it's a reason why I don't really like drafting Mega Pokemon, is because you lose the item and you're locked to an ability. But also, Mega Blastoise in this league couldn't use Shell Smash, so that was another thing for sure. But yeah, Blastoise always is a solid mon. I feel like this Pokemon gets picked up in every draft. It's just solid. It's just a solid mon. It does what it does, man. Nice attacker, nice bulky water type. And yeah, it's looking like a pretty good, nice piece into this draft for my 3rd slot. I scooped up another Pokemon that I have been waiting to pick in a draft league. Big boy Rhyperior. This mon, I mean, I wanted just a strong EQ because I don't like playing draft leagues without a strong ground type, bro. I mean, base 140 attack. Base 140 attack is base 140 attack, and this mon is super physically bulky. I love Lightning Rod as an ability. I'm not going to use it, obviously, because of Terra. I don't have it on this mon, so I'm not going to be using Lightning Rod. I'm going to be using Solid Rock, which is another really good ability in itself. Yeah, this mon also gives me Rocks, which I was lacking up until then. So now I have Spikes, and I have Stealth. Oh, wait, no. I'm lying. I just lied to you all, because Arcanine gets Stealth Rocks. Yeah, I mean, this mon just looks really nice. It gives me a secondary Stealth Rocker, because I want Arcanine to be offensive. So I don't want to be rocking Stealth Rocks on Arcanine every single week. This mon can do that, and like I said, just it's a ground type, right? Every draft needs a good ground type, good offensive ground type. That's another thing I've learned. When it comes to your offensive mons, I definitely think you want to have an offensively good ground type and an offensively good fairy type. In my opinion, those are the 2 most important offensive mons to have. So I definitely grabbed that up with this, man. Strong Earthquakes, man. Strong Stone Edges. It has a lot of versatility. You know, it's got like a whole plethora of offensive moves. Rock Polish to boost its speed. It can Pursuit in this league. SD sets looking pretty solid. Supercell Slam? I might have to try that in 1 week. Just absolutely blitz a water type with fucking Supercell Slam. I don't think this mon gets knockoff, does it? No, it doesn't. That'd be pretty crazy. But yeah, man, Rhyperior, this mon is, I love this mon so much, so I've definitely been aiming to scoop it up for a draft league, and I'm definitely excited to use this big boy. Alright, rounding out the other half of what I was just talking about, I got my fairy type, Comfey. I really liked Comfey. It's another mon that can kind of just win games by itself, and it gets like me a really nice speed tier at 100, you know what I mean? Because Ogerpon is 110, Arcanine is 90, so I kind of like fuse those speed tiers together with this mon at base 100. This is another very versatile mon that can work as a win con. It can work as a backup supporting piece for my team. You know, it gets stuff like U-Turn, it gets Encore. It can set up with Calm Minds. It gets Aromatherapy for status, Defogged for hazards. It gets, did I just say Encore? But yeah, Encore to kind of prevent setup and stuff. Screens, Knockoff. It's a good mon. It's a solid mon. It gets Taunt. So I definitely am liking this mon for my team. Like I said, I think it's always great to have a offensive fairy type. You don't want to have like a purely defensive kind of supportive fairy type. I think it's a super important offensive piece. And like, yeah, I mean, you slap Triage on this, you slap Calm Mind, Draining Kiss, you know, Giga Drain for that priority healing moves, and boom, like you have a really nice win con at the end of the game too, if I choose to use it that way. So yeah, definitely excited for Comfey. It's looking pretty solid, man. I think this is a very underrated fairy type. I think it only went for like 9 or 10 points in the draft too. So I was kind of debating this. I was debating Hatterene. Ultimately ended up leaning on this because I wanted something to soak up knockoffs as well. So yeah, that's my round 5 pick. And we're looking like a pretty, I mean, this is a pretty different draft. Like in the first 5 rounds, I was kind of looking at this draft like, damn, this is offensive as fuck. Like there is not a whole lot of room for like bulky walls, you know what I mean? And I'm using a lot of points. Actually, no, I wasn't even really that bad on my points up until this point, because my mons were pretty cost efficient for the prices they were, in my opinion. Yeah, I was kind of just taken aback at the draft I was going, because normally I'd like to have at least some kind of defensive, you know, backbone on my team. But I mean, you're gonna keep seeing like my draft add up, and you're like, damn, yeah, this is a pretty offensive squad. Which leads me into my next pick. So I pick up my steel type, and I go Revavroom. I have already used this mon before. I really like it. Like I said, it's another one of those versatile mons, right? It can sit in the back and be an important support piece. It can parting shot around. It can set up toxic spikes. You know, it's got shift gear, taunt. Shift gear is a win con. And this mon can win games, right? This is another game winner on its own. It's a super good typing as well. Right now, I mean, we're pretty EQ weak at this point, but Steel Poison is just such a good type, man. It resists like everything in the game. So I definitely picked that up for this reason. I also just liked using Revavroom in the other draft league. I had it because, yeah, I mean, if you just get the right angle on this mon, it can just take over. It's a really good choice scarfer, I think, as well. If you don't want setup, if you just want that immediate speed. And it's got some nice supportive moves, you know what I mean? Spoiler alert, I end up kind of using this mon as a supportive piece for week 1. And I had like taunt, parting shot, sets. So yeah, definitely a solid mon for the price it is. Very efficient mon, Revavroom. I like it a lot, so I had to go scoop it up for round 6. I think is a nice steal for a mon this good. What I was saying earlier about Mega Pokemon, yo, toss that out the window, fam. I got myself Mega Absol. So I was sniped. I was aiming for a Alolan Persian actually on this team, because I thought it would be like a more supportive, solid dark type that can eat knockoffs with Fur Coat, and just, you know, willingly spread status around, eat knockoffs. You know what I mean? I kind of felt like I needed a mon like that, but unfortunately it got picked before I could pick it. So I just went down a different route. This mon was the same points as as Alolan Persian, so I was like, I bet, like, let me just scoop up Mega Absol then, you know what I mean? Not the strongest Mega, but I love this Pokemon. One of the coolest designed Megas as well. Magic Bounce is a broken ability. It's really good mixed attacker, right? 150 base attack is no joke. So this mon clicking knockoff is gonna hurt very badly. And it's obviously got a nice speed tier right now. It's my new fastest Pokemon. So I'm trying to secure those nice high speed tiers. Not quite as high as I want. I definitely like getting a mon that's like base 120 plus in draft leagues, just so you have a super elite speed tier. But I just couldn't fit it, so we got a 115. and I really like this mon. I think it's more versatile than just like click knockoff plus sucker punch, and if you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. I was built, I've played with this mon before. I really like other sets. Like obviously when you have knockoff and sucker punch, this is kind of what it does mainly, of course. You got stuff like SD sets, right? SD Sucker Punch as a win con late game, but I actually really like mixed attackers, mixed attacking Absol sets, right? Because you have like Fire Blast and Flamethrower, you have Ice Beams, right? I think it gets Psychic moves, does it? It gets Psycho Cut and Future Sight even for like fighting types that maybe want to come in on it. So I think it's a really, really good on the special side, and it's got base 115, right? So it's no joke on special offense. And spoiler alert, that's what I did. Like, just kind of giving spoilers for my week 1 game. I ended up bringing a mixed attacking Absol with Fire Blast because my opponent had a Corviknight, which I knew was going to be a defensive Corviknight set. So I brought Fire Blast to kind of to smoke that, right? But yeah, overall, like Absol, Mega Absol, one of my favorite, maybe my favorite Mega. I think it might be my favorite Mega Pokemon because Absol already is one of my favorite Pokemon, but then you slap on the wings, make this mon the Angel of Death, bro, and yeah, it's looking pretty crazy. So I had to go scoop that up round 7. Alright, so I had to go grab me a Rapid Spin blocker at this point. I thought it was really, really important for how many hazards I have, because I have all 3 now. I have Spikes, Rocks, and Toxic Spikes. And spoiler alert, I'm going to be picking a Sticky Web Pokemon in a few turns. So I wanted to get a Rapid Spinner. Also, it helps with my ginormous Earthquake weakness right now. Haunter, I think, is a solid like budget ghost type. It's another Fairy resist as well. And it's really, really strong. It bridges the gap between Comfey and Arcanine on the speed tiers too. And it can kind of be like a little bit bulky with a Violite, obviously not that strong because it has base 45, 45, 55 on the defensives. But, this one will definitely have a place when it's time. I thought about making this my Terra Captain, and I might decide to do that and change it from what the other Terra Captain is right now. Because right now it's Arcanine and a mon that you'll see in a second. So this might end up being a Terra Captain because I think it could be really, really solid with Levitate. Maybe doing like Terra Electric, Levitate, get no weaknesses kind of beat, you know what I mean? But yeah, this was kind of just a budget ghost type on the board. I thought about Drifblim, but I think Drifblim got picked before me, but I also thought this might just be better. Yeah, I mean, it just clicks really, really strong ghost moves, really, really strong poison moves. Does it have Nasty Plot? I think it has Nasty Plot, right? Yeah, so it can maybe even set up a Nasty Plot. It has Encores. So yeah, overall just a nice solid budget ghost type for my team to block up rapid spins, maybe be another strong special attacking mon, because that was another thing that I was kind of looking at for my team. Is I was like, I don't really have any strong immediate special attackers, right? The strongest one right now is Absol. You know what I mean? Like, kind of, if you want Blastoise to be your special attacker, you kind of need to set up like that Shell Smash to get really, really strong special moves, or like Choice Specs. Same thing with Comfey, you kind of want to Calm Mind Up or Choice Specs. Absol can't hold an item, so it's kind of just stuck at 115. Haunter kind of fulfills that, like it's got that base stat already, and it can hold an item to boost its damage. So yeah, overall, I think a solid mon for later in the drafts. This late in the draft, I think it was overall just a nice kind of way to fit a ghost type onto my team. We got scooped up another not fully evolved Pokemon. This is my second Terra Captain that I was just talking about. The Terra Eel, I think, was actually a pretty solid 1-point option. 1-point mon, I think when you get this much stuff for a mon that's 1 point, another Earthquake immunity, right? Another ground immunity. It gets knockoff, U-turn, Thunder Wave, Toxic. It gets Super Fangs for to chunk people out. I just think it's a really good mon. Like, actually, it's one of the best in my opinion. Just low point. You need a nice budget like mon. Just pick up Eel, bro. And half the time, it's never even listed on the docs that we use to draft, so no one's ever thinking about Electric. So it's just like you can rely on it being up later in the draft as well, right? And I could even try like some kind of coil, you know what I mean? Some coil set. And try to sweep someone with an eel. That would be so funny. I might have to try that. But yeah, it even gets like light screen, you know, for screen support. Obviously, the biggest weakness to this Pokemon and to Haunter is knockoff, of course, right? Knocking off this mon's a Violite kind of just severely weakens it. But I mean, that's overall pretty easy to play around. You know, it's not like every Mon on every single one of my opponent's team is gonna have knockoff, right? I can play around it. I can switch it out when it's time to dodge those knockoffs and go into stuff like Revavroom, Comfey, Absol, whatever it wants to eat up that knockoff. So yeah, I just think this is a solid budget Mon. I've had it before in draft leagues, or a draft league that I'm in right now, and I thought it was really, really solid. So I scooped it up for this league. Helps with my ground weaknesses right now, and just gives me a lot of supporting options for the rest of my offensive Mons. Won't come every week, of course, but you know, it's just a nice solid backbone Pokemon for my team. All right, so at this point in the draft, I had, I think, the most points out of all the coaches, and I planned it that way for sure, because I feel like in a lot of the draft leagues I'm in, I use up a lot of my points early to get super strong Mons at the beginning, and then kind of am forced to like sweat and kind of super in-depth plan what my Mons are going to be for the later part of the draft. I kind of went with a different approach. I chose to kind of save up my points, get some nice efficient Mons, cheap Pokemon at the start of the draft, so I had more points later on, kind of drafting some of the undervalued Mons first. So I went with Leavanny because I thought Sticky Webs on this team just adds a whole different dynamic to it. I'm just like imagining stuff like Sticky Webs plus the last Pokemon I'm going to pick, because at this point I had 15 points left to work with out of 105, and I was I think I was at 9 Pokemon already. So I could have gotten something like I was thinking about something like a Zelf, which would have cooked my points, but it was a Zelf, right? And I had a lot of points to work with, but I chose 2 Pokemon instead of 1, and I think Sticky Webs adds like a huge dynamic on this team. It's a above 90 speed tier, so it's a nice Mon, and Leavanny just seems pretty cool to use. I believe there is a Sun team in the draft, if I'm not mistaken, so I can kind of maybe pop off with Chlorophyll one week if I match up against that person. But yeah, obviously the main reason why this Mon's here is Sticky Webs, of course. It can obviously do other stuff. It's pretty strong. 103 attack is not like, it is not bad, right? It's not something to joke with, and it gets stuff like Leaf Blade and Knockoff. Triple Axle could be really cool, maybe to beat those flying types. Triple Axle actually seems like it'd be pretty decent. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely nothing to sweat with offensively, but I just thought Sticky Webs was super cool for my team, and it just adds another thing to prep for my opponents. Because right now I have a very versatile draft. Like, there's a lot of angles that I can come at you. This just adds another angle, right? You have to prep for Sticky Web. What are you gonna do if I have Sticky Webs? So yeah, I definitely thought that was a solid low tier Mon. It also gives me a 4 times weakness, or not weakness, resistance to ground. It gives me a 4 times resistance to ground, which is always going to be super nice, considering the top half of my draft. The only thing that I have, only Pokemon that I have that's resistant to Earthquake is my Ogerpon, which is not going to be, you know, the most willing participant to tank up Earthquakes. So this Mon can, you know, volunteer for that role as well. And yeah, just a solid Sticky Web support Mon, man. Alright, and for my last pick, I scooped up round 11 Xurkitree, which I think is criminal. I mean, I just have to show you one stat. I mean, 173. That's the stat I would like to show you. It has base 173 special attack, which is a lot, you know what I mean? This Mon definitely has its flaws, right? It's not as fast as I think you'd want it to be, but like, bro, it was round 11. This is my last pick, and it's Xurkitree, right? It's fucking Xurkitree. Just imagine me pulling up to a game with Sticky Webs plus Xurkitree. What do? You know what I mean? How do you deal with that? And in this league, you can use Hidden Power, right? So I get you know, one of the weaknesses of Xurkitree, I think, in like Gen 9 in general, is its lack of coverage, right? Like, you don't get to use hidden power sometimes, and it has like a lot of, it doesn't have the greatest coverage, right? So you can kind of get walled by certain mons, right? Well, I get a free coverage move of any type of my choice. And, you know, 60 power, you know, obviously is a low base power move, but when you have base 173 special attack, you're not sweating too hard about low base stats. So yeah, it doesn't get to use Z moves, so it's not like the cooked national deck set where you do like Z hypnosises and boost your speed and then just annihilate the team from there. But this mon is still gonna put in work, man. This mon, I think, is gonna, this might be the Pokemon I am most excited to use for this draft league round. The fact that I got it last pick just makes it so much better. I've always liked Xurkitree, and yeah, I'm excited to use it, man. It kind of came out of nowhere. I was thinking about, I picked it up in Grace. So my original back two, I had Thwacky as was Leavanny, which I thought it was a cool grassy terrain for earthquakes, right? If you couldn't tell, like, I was kind of scared of my ground weakness at this point in the draft, so I picked up Thwacky and I picked up Raikou. And ultimately I ended up changing it to these two because I just thought it was a bit more exciting and unpredictable for the enemy team that would prep for this team, right? Because there's so many different ways that I can win. And this is just one of them, like Webb's Xurkitree, bro. Obviously, your boy's going to be clicking Volt Switches, your boy's going to be clicking Thunderbolts and Discharges. That's the whole point. That's Xurkitree. HP, you know, hidden power, blank, whatever coverage I need for a team. It gets Energy Ball, it gets a Calm Mind Boost, Tail Glow. That's the big thing. Like, you can just skyrocket your already stupid special attack with Tail Glow. And yeah, pick up some KOs, right? Pick up some fucking KOs. Because this mon is gonna go crazy this season. I'm telling you that right now. And that's it for my team. Overall, super offensive, super strong. One of the most exciting drafts I think I've drafted in a while. I am ready for this team, bro. I am ready. I am glad, like, kind of low-key glad I got eliminated from CTHBL so I can use this team, because I was gonna drop out. My name, you know, my team name and logo is not even on the dock right now because I didn't put it, because I was like, I'm gonna drop out of this league anyway, right? But we got eliminated, so we're here. My week 1 game has already been played, but sadly has not been recorded. I did not record that game. Like I said, I didn't know if I was gonna play this league. So I am gonna I'm gonna stick it on here right now. We're gonna watch the week 1 game just as a post game kind of rundown of it, and show you guys how the start of the season went. All right, boys, this is my week 1 game. This was a pretty crazy game to start off this season. Obviously, my team, I kind of just ran through my whole team, so I won't repeat all the mons that I had. But just so you have kind of awareness of my opponent's team, it was Ursaluna, Terra Gengar, Deoxys Defense, Corviknight, Mega Sceptile, Slurpuff, Alolan Persian, the mon that he sniped me, Wishy-Washy, and Terra Camerupt. So already, like, I mean, the two big names, fucking Terra Gengar, bro, yeah, nice, and Ursaluna. I think maybe Ursaluna might be the strongest individual Pokemon in this entire draft league that was allowed. I mean, the thing just clicks fucking a move and something on the team dies, right? So those two were really scary. As you can see, both of them were brought to this game. I'll slap on my team for you guys so you can see what I brought. But basically my lead was like Blastoise, I was sashed up on Blastoise. Click Shell Smash turn 1. I didn't think he was going to bring Wishy-Washy, which, you know, he did. I thought he was going to bring like Alolan Persian or Slurpuff. So, but yeah, the plan was lead Blastoise and click Shell Smash turn 1, and he didn't have, because he doesn't have a lot of good priority moves, right? Basically, the only thing he had that he would bring realistically is Vacuum Wave on Mega Sceptile, and I didn't really think he was going to bring it. But if he did, it would be fine, you know what I mean? So I was just really scared of him leading Mega Sceptile, basically. Mega Sceptile lead, so I wanted to, you know, be able to prevent that. So I slapped down Focus Slash, click Shell Smash, bro. That was the game plan. As you can see, kind of my team, I have a supportive Comfey and supportive Revavroom. Air Balloon on the Rev to give me a one-time switch into Ursaluna to block that Earthquake. I got Taunt for Deoxys, Parting Shot to get around. Encore on my Comfey for Deoxys, you know, Defog for his hazards because I didn't bring any hazards for this game. And yeah, ultimately, Mega Absol, like I said in the draft analysis, I brought it mixed for this game. Fire Blast and 48 special attack had a very nice chance to kill or 2-hit KO the Corviknight. So I was really liking that. Knockoff is very strong into his team, you know, forcing like Terras on the Gengar. And lastly, we have Big Zerk and Big Arcanine. So Arcanine was kind of my end game envisioned, the Pokemon I wanted at the end of the game. Terra Normal Extreme Speeds once stuff gets whittled down is just really strong. And I can also click stuff like Head Smash and Flare Blitz if I need to nuke something. And CC was for Big Ursaluna because I was very scared of that Pokemon. And as well as Alolan Persian if I can try to take that out. Because of Fur Coat, you know what I mean? That's a really strong, maybe even check to Arcanine. And then Xurkitree, I was a pretty interesting set. So basically max special defense because I thought his team overall, if I could pivot in this Pokemon on the right situation with Comfey or Revavroom, this Mon can come in, click Tail Glow, and get a kill, right? And I was thinking about what could revenge kill this Pokemon, and it was basically Gengar or Mega Sceptile, right? That was what was going to come in and take this thing out. So having max special defense to take a tank a move from one of those two mods and get a kill on them or anything else was just really good for this game. And yeah, that was my team. So we can just peep how the game went. So obviously I brought Terra Normal. He, you know, on the team preview, you can see that he brought Terra Fairy for his Gengar, which is pretty solid into Absol and stuff like that to block those knockoffs, of course. So like I said, he led Deoxys. I brought out my Blastoise. Like I said, the game plan, I just click Shell Smash, dog. Turn one, I don't care. He teleports out, brings in his thing to wall it. But I'm like, I'm chilling, you know, I'm gonna check the set. I'm like Dark Pulse. Because I'm thinking, because I haven't played against a Wishy-Washy in a long time. So I'm like, what can this Mon do? Maybe I shouldn't click Shell Smash again, but he just clicks Toxic. And I'm like, oh, he really can't hit me. I'm clicking Shell Smash again, bro. Like, a guy like me clicks that move again. And he rests up, gives me that Shell Smash for free. He shows that he's Chesto Berry. So I'm already like, bro, I'm in a good position. Like, this thing's getting 2-hit KO'd. If I get the flinch right here, I might just 6-0 him. You know what I mean? Like I said, he doesn't have good priority options. Like, basically all he's got is Mega Sceptile's Vacuum Wave. But like, look at this team. I have Ice Beam, Dark Pulse, Surf. Like, what wants to tank a +4? Any one of those moves. Gengar's dying to Surf. This is dying to Surf. This is dying to Dark Pulse. This is dying to Surf, and this is dying to Ice Beam. So I'm like, bro, I'm gonna click Dark Pulse. If I get this flinch right here, I'm winning the game on turn 4. Right, so I do that, exactly that. Unfortunately, I don't get the flinch, so, you know, tough world. So I'm just gonna take my kill, remove, and you know, on turn 5 of the game, I already got rid of Arcanine's biggest check, which is a huge W for the end of the game, you know what I mean? So follow this up, bring out the Revavroom. He brings out his Deoxys again. I'm like, I don't want you to teleport, so I'm clicking Taunt on you. He pops my Air Balloon with the Nightshade. So obviously this thing is going to get nuked by Ursaluna. I can't switch it in now. But he has to click Nightshade again. I'm guessing that's the only move he has. Taunt kind of cripples this Mon. So I'm like, let me get out and Parting Shot here. And get into my Absol, right? If you're going to click Nightshade, I'm going to eat that up. And I'm going to Mega Evolve and get my knockoff. He brings in the Corviknight, right? Which is what I was expecting. So I just get rid of that knockoff. Or get rid of those leftovers, rather. And unfortunately, he's not in range quite yet for Fire Blast, so I have to switch out. I'm expecting the Body Press, so I go into my Comfey, and I'm like, alright, you know, this is kind of what I planned for, so let me click Encore. You know, get that Encore off. He's locked into Body Press. And now he has to either sit here and spam Body Press, or he has to switch out. So I'm like, yep, he brings in his Deoxys. Go ahead, U-turn out. and do exactly what I said on the team preview, I guess, when I was talking about my team. Bring in fucking Xurkitree and click Tail Glow, and you know, he teleports out, he doesn't damage it, and Sceptile Mega Evolves, and it misses Leaf Storm. He misses the Leaf Storm against my +3 Xurkitree, and I'm looking at that like, yeah, baby. We take that out with HP Ice, and nothing one-shots this Pokemon anymore. So he was malding about that because he just lost the game. Like, the game, you know, put the pieces together. This is a +4 Xurkitree, bro. And I have all the coverage I need. And I'm just gonna sit here and click moves. And Big Zerk is going to pack his team up, akin to his name. We're packing this whole squad up because I'm +6 right now, and it's over. I think, you know, I kind of really like making my opponent have to rely on chance to win the game, which is ultimately what ended up being the kind of deciding factor for this game, right? He brought in Mega Sceptile to kill this, and ultimately it doesn't kill because of max special defense. That was the prep right. Leaf Storm does not kill this, Draco does not kill this. So no matter what happens in this situation, I am getting a kill, right? I'm getting a kill. And ultimately I'm like, yo, if he misses Leaf Storm or Draco right now, I'm gonna win the game, which I think is a strength, right? I know a lot of people will watch this video and be like, okay, you got lucky, you know what I mean? You got lucky. He missed the Leaf Storm, you got lucky, you got the hacks, and you won the game because of it. But I'm starting to kind of see that nowadays as a strength rather than just hacks, right? If you have to click a move that does not hit every single time in order to get yourself out of this situation, if you miss that move, that's a benefit on my part, right? That's an advantage that I had in the team builder and in the prep. So that's what happens in this game, right? 1 in 10 chance he misses the Leaf Storm, and I just completely snowball the game out of control. And Xurkitree just packs his team up and wins, you know what I mean? And that's just GG. Xurkitree packs him up. 5 kills on week 1. We get a 5-0 dub on week 1, and we're looking crazy to start the season. I am so sad I did not record the live reaction to this because I was absolutely screaming for Big Zerk at this moment when he missed that Leaf Storm, and I was kind of looking at his team like, Gengar doesn't revenge this, so I'm winning the game right here. So yeah, that was my week 1 game. Week 2 is to be played shortly. I have to play my arch nemesis. So I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching my analysis of my team and the week 1 game. Sorry to kind of fuse the video together, but like I said, I didn't record the week 1 game, so it's not going to be its own individual thing. So I will see y'all for week 2. Let's see if we can start the season off 2-0. I will catch you guys then. Take care and see ya.